Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how we made $130,000 in the last 3 months using SMS as a remarketing channel. Now, the most common, well-known remarketing channel for e-commerce businesses is email, and for good reason, because once you have the email address of one of your store visitors in the funnel who probably did not make a purchase or just signed up to get a discount from your store, that's where you can start engaging with that audience on email. But one of the lesser used channels is SMS. And what I'm going to show you today is exactly how we use SMS marketing for e-commerce customers that we have as part of our agency, and how for this particular customer, we were able to get the revenue up to $137,000, as you can see on the screen, in the past 3 months. So you can see that this has been a huge jump compared to the previous 3 months. So it's up 379%. The number of conversions in the last 3 months from SMS marketing is 1,000 conversions, 1,041 conversions, from 67,728 messages, 3,875 new subscribers. The CTR on SMS is around 6.64%. Now, since we've aggressively grown the number of subscribers and the number of messages as well a little bit, that's why the click-through rate is slightly down, but it's still much better than some of the competing platforms. If you look at the click rate that you have on your emails, you can get a quick idea of how much more you can do with SMS in terms of getting people back to your store to complete a purchase, or getting people back to the store to check out a campaign or a sale or a deal that you're running. Now, this dashboard that I'm showing you right here is the Emotive App, which is the app of choice for us at Maplinks. We use Emotive for SMS marketing for all of our e-commerce customers. Now, if you look at the data here in terms of revenue, there's been slight up and down, but you can see the trend has overall been an uptrend, wherein the revenue is up 342% versus the previous 3 months. So the last 3 months, we've done $137,000 in sales. Now, if you see the split below this, you can see the broadcast and the experiences. And I'm going to take a minute to explain you what this means. So if you've done email marketing, specifically if you've used Klaviyo for email marketing, you probably know about campaigns and flows. So campaigns are one-time emailers with deals, discounts, and newsletters that you send as your brand. And flows are a series of automated emails that you send based on some logic to your customers. Now, the most common flows with email marketing are the welcome flow and the abundant cart flow. So when someone comes to your website, you would typically have a pop-up which says, get 10% off if you sign up to our email list, and then the person basically enters the welcome flow. The other flow is the abundant cart flow. If someone comes and adds a product to the cart and then leaves the product without completing the checkout, there you can have different flows for browse abandonment, abandoned cart, and cart abandonment. So abandoned checkout. So those are the flows that you can have for people who abandoned and did not complete the purchase. Now, you can have something very similar with SMS. Now, broadcasts and experiences are very similar, where broadcasts are like campaigns. These are one-time SMSs or text that you send to your list to a specific segment. You can choose a segment, or you can send it to your entire list. Second, you have the experiences. Experiences are automation. So it's a series of text messages that can go out based on a certain logic to a particular set of users who sign up on your website or who abandon the cart, and so on. So you can have similar logic like you have with flows or automated series of emails with e-commerce. So those are broadcasts and experiences. Those are the terms used by Emotive. Now, depending on what app you use for SMS marketing, the terms might differ a bit. Now, we'll quickly glance through the metrics. So with broadcast, we see a response rate of about 1.16%. Now, of course, the broadcasts are not really aimed at getting a response. They're usually showcasing a deal. So for example, recently we had a Mother's Day deal, and the broadcast would just say, Happy Mother's Day, some nice copy, and this is the discount code, and go and check out the website. So essentially, it's aimed at click-throughs and not at responses. So if you see the click-through rate here is around 4.44%, which is usually higher than what we see with email. And then you have your opt-out rate, which is around 1%. It's also slightly higher than what you see on email. This is because we have been slightly testing a more aggressive frequency of sending SMS, and text messages do not really work as much as email in terms of scaling up frequency. You still have to limit your text messages to the key holidays, to the big deals, to the big sales. And that's something that we are testing out. So a higher frequency versus a lower frequency, seeing how it affects the opt-out rate. And clearly, if you have too many SMS going out, the opt-out rate is going to be higher. But if you can just cover the main big sales and the main big holidays and the big deals, that's going to still maintain your opt-out rate to a decent level. And finally, you have your conversion rate, which is essentially 0.27% with broadcast. Now we are going to go to the experiences. Now this is where the fun happens. This is where most of the revenue is coming from. So we have 10.81% response rate. We have a 21.54% CTR. We have a 4% opt-out rate, which is pretty high. And then we have 12.98% conversion rate. Now the reason why we are okay with that 4% opt-out rate is because of the high conversion rate. And that 13% conversion rate is amazing. It's higher than what you would typically see in terms of your overall conversion rates. And the revenue that we see here is $118,000. So you see most of the revenue comes from experiences. So spend time setting up your experiences and your automations and put your SMS funnel in place. And then off and on, you can send broadcasts when there are big campaigns. So those are the two elements of SMS marketing. And this is essentially an overview of what you can achieve with SMS marketing. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And if you'd like to see more series on SMS marketing, we're happy to create more videos on SMS marketing for e-commerce. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.